Hey, 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 what's up? What's good? It's me, Angie right back at you on the $1,000,000 Hour Power Hour breakout session. Where the word of the day is integrity. Yes, the word of the day is integrity. As Oprah Winfrey would say, real integrity is doing the right thing, knowing that nobody's going to know whether you did it or not. Integrity, as Oprah Winfrey would say. Now, within the walls of this combine, we have leaders, coaches, trainers, winners, champions, soldiers, and warriors, and those whom aspire to be. Yes, we have a set of rules, thoughts, and ideas that we agree upon in order to run this establishment. As your trainer, let me say it is a pleasure to have you join forces with me for a common cause, and that is to learn how to learn how to fuel and generate ourselves so that we can in turn transmute our individual cells and teams into gems, meaning to be highly prized or well beloved person or persons in our line of expertise. And on our road, on the yellow brick road, during this breakout section on the yellow brick road to getting there, we must have integrity and strive not to say anything off color. Reason being that I'm now stressing the off color aspect of integrity is because we live in a day and age where there are many people or persons whom are highly sensitive. They have not thick skin. They're overly sensitive. Virtually everything and anything you say offends them. So we want to work and strive to not say anything that's off color, for within the walls of this confine, this establishment, we don't know all the ins and outs and all the facets of everybody within the walls of this confine as leaders, coaches, trainers, winners, champions, soldiers, warriors, and those whom aspire to be. I mean, we don't want to show that air of prejudice. We don't want to necessarily delve into and express an air of prejudice. We want to be welcoming to everybody, for it's not closed off to everybody. That's why I say, and those whom aspire to be leaders, coaches, trainers, winners, champions, soldiers, and warriors, and those whom, once again, whom aspire to be. Okay, what we want to do and what part of my job is, what I've been trained to do, what I've been studying to do since I was brought into this world on this earth as your trainer. Okay, once again, okay, a common, okay, for a common, the common thing that we want to do, okay, is learn how to fuel and generate ourselves so that we can in turn transmute our individual cells and our teams into gems, meaning we're not just machines, but we're gems, to be prized or well beloved in our line of expertise within the walls of this compound, this establishment, but also within the community, the nation, and the world globally speaking in this universe, because perhaps many of you, such as myself, will go on to be philanthropists. Okay. And, I've yet to encounter a philanthropist who was unkind and unjust and unruly and things of that nature. We want to once again, okay, on the yellow brick road during this $1,000,000 hour power hour breakout session, okay, we must have integrity. Okay, integrity, as Oprah Winfrey would say in her quote, real integrity is doing the right thing, knowing that nobody's going to know whether you did it or not. Integrity, as Oprah Winfrey would put it. Okay, we want to show integrity. We want to have integrity. That's part of what my job is as a trainer, teaching you the many facets of a leader, the many facets of a trainer, the many facets of a coach, the many facets of winners and champions and soldiers and warriors and those who aspire to be. The many facets of that include integrity, which is the word of the day. And having that integrity, I've also tossed in the word off color. We want to strive to not say anything that's off color for the sake and for the very reason that we live in a time, a season, a day and age where there are many persons, people whom are hypersensitive, overly sensitive, where virtually anything you say, seemingly speaking, because they have not developed thick skin, is could be potentially detrimental to their ears, and then they get upset, and then they lose all sense of reality in the forms of their behavior that they do. Okay, so we also want to strive to not say anything off color, as we are a welcoming group, and part of me being a trainer is training you to be welcome, but yet by the same token, if you are the kind of person that you have people have different ways of coaching, different ways of leading. There are so many different ways of running an establishment. The goal here as your trainer, me, Angie writes, my goal is to have you run an establishment that's based on integrity. Number one, based on integrity. That's number one. Number one is integrity. Okay, you got to have some integrity. Okay, and then we want to strive to not say anything that's off color or potentially detrimental to one's ears. Because some people, you say something and it's like, they go on, they then in turn go into what I call freak mode. Okay, they start freaking out. Okay, they start spazzing out. They start they start acting like a doll that's been wound up. Okay, they wound up now. They done said something that hurt my feelings. Where in essence that was not the intention. But we have people that are hypersensitive and they just think everything's about them. And quite frankly, in a world of over 7 billion people, none of us, quite frankly, are the center of attention. Therefore, nothing is solely about us individually speaking, but it's about us as a group collectively speaking. Thus, once again, with that being said, I'm Angie Wrights. Thank you for tuning in and stopping into the $1,000,000 hour power hour with me, Angie Wrights, on this breakout session as we take a trip along the yellow brick road where we must have integrity and strive not to say anything that's off color. And when I say integrity, once again, that's the word of the day. And as Oprah Winfrey would say, real integrity is doing the right thing, knowing that nobody's going to know whether you did it or not. Integrity. And once again, I'm Angie Wrights. Thanks for tuning in to the $1,000,000 Hour Power Hour. With that being said, high five each other, give each other a hug. I love you. Thank you once again. Boop, boop. And we'll see you again on the other side.